Hello guys, TheRsdg here and welcome back to another episode of map making. In this episode we are going to work on two more artifacts. These are going to be pretty interesting as far as I am concerned. I think they're, like, the concept of them is pretty cool. We're going to work on... This only happens when I'm recording, it's very strange. Might be something with the recorder, I don't know. Okay, so... Oh, got them all prepared. We are going to work on the diamond block one, and by the way, I have not forgotten about you guys. One of you, I have forgotten your name. I probably have the comment ready in the video. If not, I'm very sorry. Okay, so that guy actually suggested making these into a more crystallized, or at least making a block model of all these blocks instead of having just the blocks, which is a very great idea. I might or might not do that. We'll see in the next episode. I don't have too much time to do it currently. So we're going to work on a diamond block one, which is going to summon a healing totem. That healing totem will basically heal you a little bit and give you a little bit of resistance once the player who summoned it, actually used this artifact, is close to it. But it will, so it will not heal the other guy, but it has a bit of a risk because you have to be in a certain spot to be healed and resisted, or given resistance. And we're also going to work on the sea lantern, which is going to simply show every other player, give them some particle effects so they are visible and their movements are visible, basically, so that way you can track other players better, but it also affects the rest of the world, so that way you have a little bit of an effect on the rest of the world. So let's quickly work on the first one. This is the number 7, that is the sea lantern, so we're going to work on that one first. Let's get a command block and start off. So I've copied the basics of all the other artifacts, which I normally do. So as you see, once you throw out an item, which is a sea lantern, it will get a score of artifact number 7. Then it will give the nearest player the A7 artifact 7 user tag. Let's actually show everything. There you go. And then it will kill the item. So now once you throw it, the player who actually used it now has a tag of A7 user. And we are going to use that, so we are going to do a simple execute, command execute at E with a score, or no, a tag, sorry, a tag of A7 user. And we are going to do an effect command from this guy, effect at A, minimum radius of 1, RM, not R. There you go. So everybody outside of his personal radius will give an effect of glowing, if that's the name. I've not used this so much. And then comes the time. Let's do 100 ticks for now, and then 1. So, and 1 is of course the amplifier. So that should give the player the effect. To test this, I've not used the glowing effect before, so let's actually do this. Effect at B and then glowing. That works. And if we do the 101, then we get it for 100 seconds. Okay, we need true. Might be useful. So in that way, we won't get these particles effects. Let's do effect at be clear. Okay. So yeah, that's the thing. We also need a timer on here because, as I said, I want some trailing particle effects. So let's actually add a scoreboard objective. Scoreboard objective add artifact 7. I don't know really, I have the others, I have them through a certain system, but let's not do that now. So artifact 7, I think I had A7 timer or something, so we'll do this. Oh wait, yeah, okay, let's see, yeah, just do scoreboard players add A with a tag of A7 user, so this will add a score to everybody who has used this artifact. We'll give them a artifact 7. We'll add 1 to a score every time you have that tag. And as long as you have that score, so we're going to execute this time. Execute from the player. It's not an E, it's an A. Thanks. With a score of artifact 7. That's it. Artifact 7 of minimum 1. So as long as the timer is running and existing and above 1, we want it to do a particle effect. We want to do another execute, actually a double execute. You don't see that too often. Execute at A again at radius minimum equals 1. So everybody outside of your personal radius, we want to execute a particle effect, and let's choose a particle for now. I think Happy Villager is, I don't know if you type it like so, Villager, because it stays rather long, so movements are visible. Yeah, it's a particle that like does not stay for very long, then it will of course disappear, and it's not really too useful. So particle Happy Villager, we'll do it at the player. We don't really need a specific radius. Let's make it very dense and 1 1. Not too impressive. The only thing is we can't really test this without a player. Oh, by the way, we also need to reset the scoreboard. So okay, so this is removing the A7 user. So, and I moved it to here just then. Okay, and then we're going to scoreboard players set at A with a score of, let's set a timer to this. I think we did 100 seconds before, and that's far too many. That's far too many. So let's actually determine a time here. Let's 10 seconds. 10 sounds reasonable. I think so. So score of artifact 7 minimum equals like 20 times 10 is 200. We want to set artifact 7 to 0. That's basically it. And we're going to copy this parameter here because we're also going to use it here. Because at the moment, once this clock, it will remove every single tick. It will remove that A7 user tag. We only want to remove it after that the timer is done. This got to 200. Which reason has this? It has this reason because we are adding it as long as the player has the A7 user. So when we remove it, the timer will stop. So if we stop the timer before that, this will always activate, and that's a bit annoying. So let's add that. There you go. And that's now done. I'm assuming this works. So it's actually a bit weird. I don't have my second account at the moment. So we can't really test it now. So we're going to do a little test sign here. Test, and then multiplayer. Multiplayer. There you go. So that means that once I just hover through the world, hey, here's a sign here. Oh, test, multiplayer. Okay, when we need to multiplayer, we need to do this. We're actually going to add another sign here to my to-do list. I have a little to-do list here. Test artifacts, artifact 7 with MP. Let's make that capital so I know what I'm talking about, and that way I won't forget. So yeah, that's the first artifact done. Okay, I'm fully prepared for the next artifact here, the diamond block. I prepared this defense totem, and I decided to first of all call him defense totem because he basically grants you defense and a bit of shelter actually. So what I have, it's just a big command. I'll quickly go through with you because some might be curious. Custom name, custom invisible, that basically gives him this little name above his head. I've got him a tag that is used for summoning and killing him. A glowing effect, 1B, invisible 1, so he's invisible, there's no armor stand visible. He has no base plate, which is actually a bit irrelevant, but hey. Okay, I've got no base plate, armor items, and that's basically all his armor. This is what I did with a little program that is called, let me go, MC Stacker. It's a website, mcstacker.bimbimma.com. You can find it anywhere on the interwebs, and then I gave him disabled slots, that way I can't get his armor from him, which would be a bit cheaty, wouldn't it? And I've got this little button to kill him because I can't hit him because he's invisible. So yeah, that's why I have this button right here. So that's our little defense totem. He doesn't do anything at the moment, but we can use him to test later on, which saves a lot of time. So I also added a timer here. So this is the 3 first command blocks that I had last time, and I just added another timer here because we needed another timer, and I've got another removing timer right here. So this is just the this is the resetting the timer, and this is removing the tag. Got a bit out of my words here. Okay, so what do we need to do? We need to summon this little guy. So let's actually copy that command block, control click, make it a chain command block, and go in front and do this execute at A tag equal to A2 user. So this is the second artifact, so it's called A2. We're also going to do, only wanted to activate once, so with a score of artifact 2, minimum equals 1, and a score of artifact 2 equal to 1. So that way it will only activate once the timer hits that specific number, which is 1, which is directly at the beginning. So yeah, that summons the armor stand here, and that, yes, that's the thing. We also need to reset this number to 0 because we don't want it to be summoned above. What we do want to do is maybe add a 0.3, and I'll give you the reason for that. I haven't given this guy no gravity for a certain reason. I want him to fall down on the ground. And basically, once you, let's say the player was jumping, like so, and midair the player activated this artifact, summoned the totem, and the totem would be stuck midair and would be really hard to get to the effect. That would be kind of annoying, wouldn't it? So this way, it falls down to the floor, and once it's the floor, it just stops. It also, by putting it a bit up, it falls down. It has a cool, oh, there it was. It falls down, has a little cool effect, I think, falling down from a small height. We might make this number bigger, but I think 0.3 is just fine. And it also wants, let's say the player, let's actually make that 0.5. Let's say the player is like on top of a fence or kind of deal, and that way the totem will fall better. So will fall better onto the fence, it will not glitch out and cause all kinds of issues if that is to be the case. So now we summoned it, now we want this totem to give his effects. So we want to do a simple execute at E with a tag of 2 totem, that's what I called it, as I showed before. We want to give an effect at every player with a tag of A2 user. And we want to give them the effect regeneration 1-1. No, wait, we want it 0-1. And I'll quickly give you an explanation for the 0 in there. This is the timer. I need to reverse this. This is the time. I want it to last very quickly, so once the totem disappears, the effect won't last. And the 0 is the amplifier. So basically I'm giving regeneration 0. Well, that's what it looks like. Actually, effects, they go from computer numbers, and computer numbers start at 0. So the 0 is actually the 1. Basically, that means that 0 is 1, 1 is 2, 2 is 3, 3 is 4, etc, etc. So this is regeneration 1. If I did this would be regeneration 2. So that's the little thing that you have to keep in mind once working with effects. That's actually what I did with the glowing effect. You saw I got glowing 1 even though I entered a 1. That's just a thing I do automatically, D1. So regeneration, and we also want resistance. That's a word I can spell more easily than regeneration. And once the timer has run out, I did this at 200. I thought I did this 400. That's a pay. Let's do it 400. So the last 20 seconds. So you have a lot of time to actually do this. So it's a really overpowered one. If it ends up being really overpowered, then of course I'll nerf the timing. So now we want to kill it. Let's copy this. That's the parameter. I don't want to type this out every time. It's just a little ease. So we want to do this, execute at A with a score of artifact 2, minimum 400. And then we want to just kill every totem. And that is done like so. So we can test this. We actually don't need a thing here. Only thing we need is a diamond block. Simply. Let's get a few actually. Because knowing myself, I probably messed up. So throwing it should release a totem. That should give me effects. And after a certain time, 20 seconds, well, it lasts a little while, that guy here will disappear. Oh, this looks pretty funny actually. It's like I have a second suit of armor. Even though I don't. Okay, this is pretty, I'm actually quite amused by this. I'm probably going to do this more off camera. Oh, okay, so this is a little issue. You saw he disappeared, but he also reappeared. That's not good. Let's actually stand on top of the command blocks. So for some reason, this is not fully working. So it did kill him, but it did not remove my tag properly. Okay, I know why. Because we're resetting the score first. So let's turn those around. Okay, setting it to 0. Let's see if we did it correctly here. No, we didn't. So let's turn those around. So, see, now it disappeared. Very well. So we did that wrong with the last one as well. And now we have the timer at the end. There you go. So, well, yeah, that seems to be working. I think we forgot one thing. And that's, let's see. We're giving the regeneration. We want to do that in a radius of 2. So that means that if I am at the place of the armor stand or at one block next to him, I'll get the effect. So if I stand right here somewhat, let's actually see, because I'm not seeing the effects right here. So okay, so I still got the effects. If I stand right here, yeah, still. And here they ran out, so I'm approximately 1 block away from him. So if I move this step, then there's the boundary. So, and now he disappeared, and I don't have the effects anymore. Great! So that's basically this totem. It lasts 20 seconds, but of course you have to stand in the radius of the totem in order to get the effect. So if a player comes around, you fight 1v1, and if the other player decides to steal your glory and basically hit you once while you're healing, he can still do damage. It will be a little bit less. Regeneration 1 is not overpowered or anything, so it might not be very well worth it. We might even need to up it. But that's a little thing where we will be concerned about today. I hope you enjoyed this little episode. I'm just going to toss out another totem and take a little outro here. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, a like would be much appreciated. Also check out the other episodes. They're pretty great. People have been enjoying them. So if you're new, then make sure to check them out. The link is in the description down below. I'll see you later, guys. Bye!